Welcome to World Buzz Bulletin. A profound analysis by veteran international editor Jeremy Bowen has shed new light on the survival of the Iranian state, suggesting that while authoritarian regimes often collapse gradually, then suddenly, the Islamic Republic has not yet reached that terminal breaking point. Despite 2 weeks of relentless anti-government protests sparked by a currency collapse and mounting casualties, Bowen argues that the state's internal security apparatus remains cohesive. The gradual erosion of legitimacy is visible on every street corner, but the sudden collapse that marks the end of a regime requires a level of institutional defection that has not yet materialized in Tehran. The analysis highlights a critical distinction between widespread public anger and the actual mechanics of a revolution. Bowen points out that while the protests are nationwide and have shattered the barrier of fear, the elite Revolutionary Guard and the regular army still appear to be following orders. History shows that regimes fall only when the men with the guns refuse to fire on the crowds. Currently, the Iranian leadership is maintaining its survivalist discipline, using targeted violence and digital blackouts to prevent the various protest hubs from merging into a single unstoppable force. Bowen's assessment identifies several reasons why the regime continues to endure. Institutional resilience. Unlike regimes that collapsed quickly during the Arab Spring, Iran's leadership has spent decades building a deep state specifically designed to survive internal unrest. The lack of a unified leader. While the protests are passionate, they remain largely leaderless. Without a centralized shadow government or a singular figure to rally behind, the movement struggles to present a viable political alternative to the current system. The external enemy narrative. The regime continues to successfully use the threat of foreign intervention and U.S. sanctions to keep its core supporters loyal, framing the protests not as a domestic grievance but as a security threat orchestrated from abroad. The conclusion of the analysis is a sobering one for those hoping for immediate change. The gradual phase of decline could last for years. However, Bowen warns that the suddenly part of the equation is always unpredictable. While the regime is not there yet, the combination of hyperinflation, a dying currency, and a generation of youth who feel they have no future means that the pressure is building toward an inevitable explosion. For now, the state is holding its ground, but the foundations are more brittle than they have been in nearly half a century. Thank you for watching World Buzz Bulletin.